In this video, I will tell how to prune a peach tree. And as you can see, I'm forming it in a vase shape. You can leave 3 or 4 branches. I had to keep only 3. The 4th one had to be removed because of the fence. And you just gradually build it. And why would you prune the tree, the fruit tree? First of all, to increase the fruit yield. They don't really produce well on vertically growing branches, so I'm trying to prune them so they form a 45-degree angle. And also I need to open the canopy for the sunlight to reach every single branch. If any of the branches are in a shade, you won't get any fruit as well. And pruning also encourages new growth and kind of helps to keep the tree young by removing any of the old branches or those that don't produce well. And by keeping it that low, it also helps to conveniently pick any fruit and withstand any high winds. Again, it takes about 3-4 years to form a good strong canopy of the tree, and you won't have as much fruit. To help you understand better how to prune the tree, as you can see, I made a drawing. So let's imagine you bought the tree, and usually a 1-year-old tree will look like this. Sometimes it may already have side branches right here, but if not, if you bought the tree that's very young and it only has 1 branch, you just prune it, removing a very small section of it on the top. Usually I leave the height up to my waist, so that way it will encourage the growth of side branches. As you can see, it may give you 3, it may give you 4, and anything that's too low to the ground you have to remove. And once you have this side branches that came out, you can choose 3 or 4 the strongest ones, and that's how you start forming your canopy. And again, when you have those side branches, you remove the main one by pruning it very short, kind of removing it completely. So that's how you will have your vase shape. And that same year, you need to prune all these side branches as well. What it creates, it encourages the growth of the new branch right here where you prune, and the canopy kind of opens up in a vase shape. So you have to do that yearly, opening up the tree and forming more of those branches. Once you prune any of these branches, multiple twigs and smaller branches will start growing on the side, and that's where your tree will produce fruit. And when you prune, you have to remember that you have to prune correctly. So let's say this is your branch and you have a bud right here above and below. If you prune right here at this point, the new branch will start growing upward. And in case if you prune in this place above the bud, the branch will start growing down, which we don't want to happen. We want all the branches to go at 45-degree angle and face up. We don't want our fruit to be laying on the ground, and it's just not the right way. And when you form the canopy, you have to make sure that these branches, they are symmetrically located. That way you have a more like symmetrical shape and have a stronger canopy forming. So you don't want all the branches to face in one direction. There will not be a good stability for the tree. Um, Again, once you prune the tree, some of the main key points to remember: you have to remove any vertically growing branches. They're not going to produce, and they're just using all the nutrients, as well as you have to prune completely the branches that grow down. And let's look at the tree. I will try to explain what exactly I'm going to prune right now so you would understand. So here is the tree. Actually, I do prune this tree 3 times a year. It kind of already has very few branches that I need to prune. I do prune in summer when it has a lot of green, newly formed branches. I remove those that grow vertically, that grow down. I also prune the branches that kind of crowded, when there are too many branches coming out from one point. That these are last year growth, and I don't really touch this unless they are too long. I usually leave at least 8 buds and prune above the 8th, 9th one, so that way the tree has enough strength to produce nice large fruit. I will also have a pruning done once I see those peaches form. I will remove some of them. That will probably be sometime in April, because the tree tends to overproduce on one branch, and I want to have large and sweet fruit. If I leave too many on this branch, then what will happen is they will be small and less of a taste. So again, right now I'm not touching this one. This one is a good length. It has about 8 buds on it, so I'm not touching this one. But anything thin like this, thinner than a pencil size, I will prune right here, just leaving 2 buds. And if it forms a couple of, or at least one fruit on it, that's good. If not, then it will dry out and I'll remove it completely, but I still give it a chance. Again, the first 3-4 years, the main reason to prune is to form a canopy. I do not focus too much on a production, but I'm forming a canopy of the tree. And if you look at this branch, so this one is growing vertically, I will remove this one. Actually, I can prune it right now. And anything that will grow down right here, that will be removed as well. And anything that grows inwards, like trying to grow inside the tree, that will be pruned. I don't really have those type of branches right now to give you an example, but if we look at this branch, you see how it was previously pruned and then it gave a new one, and this one is going now too much vertically, and I will redirect it and prune right here, so it starts forming this branch and kind of help me to lower the canopy and keep going at 45-degree angle instead of upwards. So I hope that gives an idea how I prune the tree. When can you prune it? Usually I prune at the end of January, beginning of February, and I think any time in January is actually fine, as long as there is no hard freeze coming. Our freeze is not as bad usually. You can prune the peach tree even if it's in bloom. You see mine is already blooming on some of the twigs. And the only thing you have to remember is to always seal those cuts. Let me show you the seal I use. This is the one I use. So any large cuts you have to seal, that way no disease enters the tree and you have a nice healthy tree. The other things to remember is not to prune when it rains. Just try to choose sunny, dry weather. That way you don't get any fungal disease. And And this is the peach tree. You can prune apple trees, nectarines, then persimmon and some other fruit trees the similar way. And I would not prune the pear tree that way. I choose a different option for it, and I will tell you about that in a different video. But this is how the peach tree is right now. Let me prune it and you will see how it looks at the end. I will lower the canopy a bit on some of the branches as they are going too much vertically right now. And the peach tree gives so much growth each year, so you do have to stay on schedule with pruning it. Otherwise, you will have a overgrown, lots of greenery tree with little fruit at the end, and very small fruit as well. All that unnecessary green growth pulls too much nutrients. And just to show you again where the tree produces, it usually produces on this branches, and they grew last year in summertime, and these are the ones that have fruit buds and that they will have peaches. As you can see, I lowered the canopy, so here is one cut I made. So instead of going vertically, I redirected the growth to this 45-degree branch. Same here, I don't let it grow up vertically, I redirect it. See here, I did the same thing. This branch is going in the right direction. This one, instead of going vertically, I redirected it to the one that's at 45-degree angle. So that way I lowered the canopy and help to keep the tree manageable. And again, if you see, all these branches are shorter than the one that's dominating. That way they produce and get enough strength to produce.